The other side of the job, of course, is in the office, and you've had to bring in players. You said you weren't happy with the squad you had there and needed freshening up, and people like Kevin Gray and Tom Cowan have come in, haven't they, and been good signings for you.
They have. We needed some experience in the squad. We had a lot of young players who were finding it really difficult to cope with the situation. Managed to get Kevin Gray in, and Tom Cowan we got in because of the problems with Dundee up in Scotland. And Andy Priest has come in as well, and they've all been real big pluses for us. They've all added steel to the side, they've added experience in the changing room when young lads have needed somebody for advice. These lads have been around, and it helps to make my job easy when I've got these sort of type of fellas around.
Of course, Kevin Gray sent off, we'll see that later, but such an important player. I know you're appealing against it. To lose him for the end of the season would be terrible for you.
Yeah, it would be a big blow. Tom's been just Kevin's been a colossus at the back for us, and it will be a big blow. We'll see what happens with our appeal. We've lodged the appeal because we were told that he'd headbutted the opponent, and that wasn't actually the case. We're hoping that the referee will look favourably on it for us, and we'll see, because if we did lose him for the last 2 games of the season, as it would be, that would be a big blow for us.
And Andy Priest, you mentioned him, came from Bury as manager, their player manager, and you brought him in as a player. Is it useful to have his experience, maybe to bounce a few ideas around with him?
Definitely. He's been very good for us. I felt a bit guilty when I was calling him, because I was sat at home when I lived in Blackburn, and I saw it come up on text that he'd lost his job at Bury, and I didn't want to think that I was being a vulture, but I decided to get in straight away and get in touch with him as quick as I possibly could, and see if I could get him on board, and he's come in and done a good job for us.
We'll look at a few of the games that you've picked out for us, but let's look at the lowest point of the season for you and how you've turned it around from this position on December the 13th, when you had just 5 points. And that looks just impossible, doesn't it?
It did, and I think there was myself and John Courtney and Dennis Booth, and I'm not sure how many of the players really believed us, but we felt that we could get out of it. We'd started to see a change around in the mentality of the players, and I genuinely did believe that we could get out of the situation. We knew it was going to take some sort of promotion form to get us up there, but that's close to what we have actually had since that low point on December the 13th.
Your first win came against Rochdale, 13th of September. I think it was a half-hour delay for the game, wasn't it, because of an accident on the M6, and then
that's right.
You got them going.
Yeah, we got the win that day, and everybody hoped that was going to be the catalyst to get us moving, and we got the result that day. A little bit of luck there, and Richie Forehand stuck it away, and unfortunately we didn't carry on how we hoped after that game.
Brendan McGill scored as well for you, didn't you? I think you were at 22 minutes, you were 3 goals up or something there, weren't you?
We were, and we made it a little bit scary at the end. Brendan comes and sticks one away here, but we did make it a little bit worrying for ourselves, but managed to hold on and get a good result. I remember their left back going through last kick of the game and screaming one over the bar, which I was delighted to see go over.
And that's your first 3 points of the season. Very welcome indeed, I'm sure. And then, well, Dave Penny mentioned it earlier, the Cumbrian wind came to play against Doncaster, but this was the 3 points that you had to have, didn't it? But it almost became a bit scary at the end.
It did. You see there, they get back in at 3-2. Kevin Townsend gets a poacher's goal there, and like I say, the left back went through and nearly scored. But this game against Doncaster,
in the wind,
we lose it 1-0. It's a gale force wind blowing on the day. It was a horrible, scrappy game. Leo Fortune West just out muscles Kevin there and tucks it away, but
against the run of play.
Yeah, it was, I thought, and the difference for me, when we came off the pitch, we had players who were angry that we'd lost instead of feeling sorry for themselves, which we'd had all the other games leading on this run. And that was the first sign that I got that we were starting to turn it around, and we were getting a different feeling inside the club with the players we had.
They do say you learn more about your players in defeat than in victory, and that's certainly the case for you there. Then another good team you played on the 20th of December, Torquay, going really well this season, and you beat them 2-0.
This was what we expected to be a very, very tough game. We'd just signed Andy Priest and Matt.
His debut, wasn't it?
It was, and he goes and sticks one away. Showed pace that I didn't know I was bringing into the club when I brought him in, and he tucked it away nicely. That got him off to a good start, and him and Matty Fryatt proved a real good partnership in the time that we had Matty from Walsall as well.
And Paul Honison, I think, got the second goal for you, didn't he?
I mean, this is a great strike. I'd like to say it was something we worked on in training, but it wasn't. It was just an off-the-cuff one, and Arnie stuck it away. Great finish for him. and we were delighted to get that result because it then set us off and gave us the boost that everybody needed.
A bit more recent, April the 3rd, Swansea won Carlisle 2. Plenty of injuries before this game, but you've come away with 3 points.
We did. I felt for Peter Keane on that particular instance. We'd just lost at home to Southend, and everybody said that was it over for us. We've gone to Swansea and showed great character after going a goal down early on. Craig Farrell got brought down in the box there, and we got a penalty, very few given to us this season, and he tucked it away after a little bit of debate with Andy Priest as to who was going to take it. And then we have a little bit of play, good football, and Peter Duffield sticks it away with a great finish.
On loan from Boston, isn't he? He's scored goals forever, hasn't he?
He has. Well, we needed a goal scorer, and Duff's come in and he's got goals for us. We've got him till the end of the season, and we'll assess it after that, but he's got a good record as a goal scorer.
If your form was carried over for the season, you'd be in the promotion places, wouldn't you? This is your last 9 games, you're 6th.
Yeah, it's quite annoying when you look at that and you see the form we are in, but we've got to keep it going. I just hope when it comes up at the end and it says last 13 games, we're a little bit higher than 6th and we're all smiling.
Your remaining fixtures are home to Lincoln. That's a really tough one that they can play. Mansfield, Cheltenham and Doncaster, the game you don't really want to be going into head-to-head with. Dave Penny, former colleague of yours at Oxford. Yeah.
No, they're tough games when you look at them like that. Lincoln, Mansfield going for playoff places. We know it's going to be difficult, but I think it's good that we're playing against those sorts of teams because they need results as well. And I'm hoping for our supporters who have stuck with us all season that Cheltenham game at home is the game that will decide it, and what a party that'll be if that's the case.